Hey, what's up guys? I'm back with a video. I just got a new monitor yesterday and I have been messing around with it now for about 24 hours, and I wanted to give you guys my kind of thoughts and opinions on this monitor. Now I am sitting in a dark room in my room kind of with the shades drawn, and I'm trying to block out the ambient light to prevent any kind of glare on the screen, but also to allow you guys to see like the worst case scenario for the monitor, because if you're gaming at night and you have your lights turned off, which I don't normally do because I feel like it creates eye strain, but if you're one of those people that likes to do it, that's when you're most likely going to see a lot more blooming on your screen with a traditional IPS panel. Now both these panels here, this is going to be the new one obviously, and this is my old monitor that I'm now going to use in place of my other monitor just for videos, Discord, things like that on the side. So the one on the left here is my old LG 27GN950B. It's a 4K 160 hertz G-Sync HDR1000 monitor, IPS, traditionally backlit panel with a few local dimming zones. I think it's like 8 or something. This monitor I just got is from a company I'd never even heard of until a few days ago. I saw people posting about it on our monitors on Reddit, and I saw it posted, I saw the price, I saw the specs, and thought, this is something I'm definitely interested in, something I've been waiting for versus going with OLED. I thought about the OLED, the 27-inch, but it's 1440p from LG, and I'm not going back to 1440p. I'm done with 1440p. If it had been 4K, I would have swooped that up immediately, most likely, even given the issues with the text fringing and stuff like that. Maybe backlight or the burn-in issue that you could potentially get, but I have OLEDs in my house for TVs and I use them to game on, and I don't have any burn-in after even a couple of years of use. So I think if you go through preventative steps, and you can prevent yourself from getting burn-in, so that is, to me, is not a big issue. The bigger issue for me was really the text clarity, the way the pixel substructure is laid out, and can cause issues with the clarity in the text and fringing. So I picked up this monitor. It's from Innocn, I believe is how you say it. I believe it's the 27M2V. They had a previous version that was 60 hertz 4K at HDR1000. This is 4K 160 hertz HDR1000, and the trick of this monitor is that this is mini LED with 1152 individual dimming zones. So instead of this being lit like this is lit with mini LEDs, which is going to help with blooming on the screen, much brighter. They can put a lot more little individual LEDs in there, so it can get a lot brighter and for longer periods of time. And then you have all those individual dimming zones, which are going to allow you to use local dimming, and so you can get some really good looking inky blacks. Not quite OLED, but I'm like shocked at how good it actually is and how good it looks for media consumption, things like that. If you just want to watch YouTube, or you want to watch Netflix, or any other type of media where maybe you're watching a movie and you want those black bars and those inky black dark scenes, and you don't want that haloing in the image to really ruin the experience. You can also use this for gaming. It's got great HDR. It's stupid bright. I tested it in Cyberpunk last night, and it's like blinding. You stare at it and it blinds you. It's unreal. It's an actual HDR monitor, where this has got HDR600. It's not great, right? It's HDR you try out and you pretty much turn off and never try again, where this monitor gets stupid bright and the HDR actually works, and with those local dimming zones, it does it properly, where you don't get a big bloom around where the light is trying to focus, because it can't individually do it. It has enough zones that it can create a competent HDR experience, in my opinion. So looking at the two, remember that when I'm filming this, that blooming that you see, it is there a little bit in real life, but not to the extent that it shows. Like, for example, that blooming is not nearly as bad. You can see as I click around on the camera here where the focus point is, it changes. So don't automatically just look at that and go, oh, that's just terrible, look at all that blooming, because you can see as I kind of click around, see how that gets worse. It's not what you're seeing in real life, right? There is some blooming, but it's not bad. So the trick of this monitor, it has a mini LED with a lot of local dimming zones. So you come over here to the monitor, and it doesn't have a joystick. It's silver. The stand is competent. I don't like the silver. The fact that it doesn't have a joystick, I don't really like that, but the buttons are usable. They're kind of chintzy feeling. I'm actually concerned that over time, what if these fail and you have no on-screen software to control this monitor? Yeah, that could be an issue. I don't know if that's an actual realistic concern, but it's something, you know, to keep in mind, especially if you're constantly using these buttons. I did get told about a software that you can use here. It's called Twinkle Tray, and you can use that to change the contrast and the brightness of the monitor through software for the two, and it works really, really well. And it does support this monitor. And then you come over here and you can get a couple hotkeys. So you double click you click this again, and that would take you to the entire OSD, and then you click through, and then you click the home button again, or the left button, and that selects, and you select, and you select, and then this one exits, and this turns the monitor off. It's pretty simple to use overall. Out of box, I felt that the monitor was a little dim because it comes at 30% brightness. I have it at 40 right now. Both are set to 40. They're pretty close in brightness. And it was a little reddish tinted, in my opinion, and a little warm. So I went through, and the only thing I've changed in here is I changed the color. So I went to CT settings, user CT, and I'll show you guys what I went with. I'll select this again. So you go down, CT, you select that, user CT1 on, and when you select it and you select on, then it brings up the options. So I have mine at R45, green is 46, and blue is 52. And that gives me a slightly cooler image without being super, super cool, and it's closer to this. And I prefer a cooler image, and that's just personal preference. Everyone's gonna prefer something different. So the hotkeys, you got brightness, volume, HDR. These are all interchangeable. You can change pretty much whatever you want. There are a few things that they don't have in there. The biggest oversight, you can't put local dimming there, but you can put the gravity sensor. What was this company thinking? Who's going to want to hotkey on and off a gravity sensor? No, they're going to want to hotkey local dimming. The monitor does have USB update in the OSD, so I'm thinking that you could probably get firmware updates. It has a USB hookup. It has a USB update. Whether they're ever going to provide any sort of support or after purchase support for this monitor via firmware updates to fix something like that, or fix the fact that you can't change both of the lights, you know, the two different lighting zones on the back of the monitor can't be both changed to white. One can be cyan, the other one can be white, or both can be cyan. So why can't both be white? It's because they made room for the quote unquote colorful, which is what they meant by rainbow. And again, it's because of the language translation. But it's just like little things like that. It's like, what were you thinking when you thought that the gravity sensor was more important than local dimming or hertz, being able to put hertz on the screen? It didn't even display the number, it just said hertz. And I don't know if I did it wrong, but like just some really, really odd choices when it comes to some of the OSD stuff. So for the price of the monitor, I got it for $699. I'm blown away with the image. I love the performance, the visual clarity, the motion handling, the responsiveness is faster than the LG. The colors are great. It's fairly uniform. There is a little bit of, like, you can see maybe some darker areas on a white screen as you kind of move a window around, but not too bad. It was actually worse when I opened the box, and now it seems to have gotten better. So sometimes when you get monitors, you get that glue and stuff that the monitor is essentially still like seating and like closing itself up. Like I've seen IPS glow get much better over time. If you use the monitor over a couple weeks, and that's just due the natural heating of the monitor and everything still kind of sealing up. So it got better. I also had what looked like a haze on the bottom. It was like I think it was a grease on the screen. I cleaned that up with the microfiber and it was all gone. But I thought something was on my screen when I first got it. So little things like that, but you know, you can get that with pretty much any monitor. So I want you guys to see this. That's what the blooming looks like, right? Now, I'm going to turn off this monitor because that's not the star of the show. We're not using this monitor today. Go the other way, actually. That's not what I wanted. There we go. So it's off, and I want you guys to see. Give it a sec because now it's catching up with itself, obviously, because now it's the Windows is kind of freaking out, right? You can see what that looks like. You get that blooming. Again, what you see there is not 100%, like see I click around, is not 100% what you're going to experience with the monitor when you're sitting in front of it, right? There is a little bit of off-axis blooming. You can see that, but you get that with every IPS panel. But I do feel like there's a little bit more maybe off-axis blooming that you'll experience with this screen versus some others, but I don't know. It's about the same of any IPS panel I've ever used. There's always that little bit of sheen to them, that bloom to them that you get if you're just slightly off the axis, right? But the viewing, the off-angle colors don't wash out. You just get that little bit more of that bloom that you may not like. So you do still get the blooming there, but I'm going to show you guys. Turn on local dimming. So go here. We're going to go down to picture settings, or game mode settings rather. Click there again, local dimming, and click again, turn it on. Now I'm going to show you guys. Watch the screen. Look at that. Look at that. Look how good that looks. We'll let that menu go away. But now you get this ridiculously good image with like inky like blacks that you would expect to see on something like a VA panel or an OLED panel. Definitely not on an IPS panel. So where this monitor really, it's got a trick up its sleeve is that you can use it as a normal IPS panel for your office use. You can game on it. But if you really want to do like a little bit of media consumption, watch a movie or whatever, or you just prefer the way this looks, which a lot of people are probably going to prefer the way this looks, and you can still tweak and tune this image however you like. Brightness control is still there. There's all kinds of changes you can make to make the image even better. It does kind of give some things like a little bit of a weird color to it, I guess you could say. Almost like it's I don't over contrasty or maybe even crushed a little bit, like a mixture of the two. But you can make that really improve through messing with the settings on the monitor. But just when you're using it, if you're watching movies or you're browsing things or whatever, you're never really going to notice that, in my opinion. I think it looks phenomenal. So that's what it looks like, and you can see that I'm moving the mouse around. There is no local dimming, there's no blooming, there's no haloing. As I grab a window here, you can see how much darker it's made everything. But again, you can see right there just a little bit of blooming in that scene, but it's very well controlled. Really, really well controlled. I'm not getting it down here at all, but definitely a little bit right there. And then if I move the monitor around, it's not causing any sort of issues with the local dimming. Nothing's like freaking out. So again, the monitor's the camera's out of focus. It's really hard to do this. I am holding and filming this with an iPhone, but fantastic performance. And then I'm gonna show you guys this video, which is made for OLEDs. It's an OLED black video to test black performance. So the monitor does have built-in speakers, so we'll have that on. They're functional, they're usable, they're great. If you don't want to have to put extra speakers on your desk and you just want to listen to something, not constantly have to have earbuds in or headphones on. So I'll have this on. I don't know if it's going to play the audio. We'll see. I'm not hearing anything. Let me see. I just want you guys to kind of hear them to see if, let's see, we'll do that. Let's see if we, okay, so they go to 24-bit. Oof, a little tingy there, huh? Ooh, I think I have a weak speaker over there. Whatever. I'm not really that concerned about that. I probably won't be using those very often. Just want to show you guys what this looks like. Now, if you see any sort of like glow onto the monitor, it's probably from what's behind me coming through the window. Again, you can see this light right here that I can kind of block out. But this monitor just looks phenomenal, right? It's got like real blacks. It gets really bright, even when you have this turned on, and I have the brightness still at 40%. So it just looks so good. Like I'm not seeing any blooming on the screen at all. None. So if you're seeing it through the camera, there is none. Like it's incredible how good this screen is. It's like it can do everything. You can game on it. You can, do your office work, and then you're like, hey, I want to watch a movie or whatever. This thing's got you covered. Turn on local dimming, and boom, you're on to using just a phenomenal screen. I got this thing for $6.99. It's on sale for $7.99 on Amazon with a $100 coupon. So I got it down to $6.99, and it's just, I've never put a monitor in and started routing my cables faster. At first, I was really disappointed with it. I was like, wow, I don't think this is that great. And then, of course, I went ahead and started messing around with the settings and figuring out, okay, how the local dimming work, etc. And I'm just blown away. Blown away at the performance. You guys can see moving my mouse around here. Nothing. No blooming. No nothing. Just really phenomenal performance. It's insane. So you can see, I think, a little bit of blooming here as those things, maybe not. You can see no blooming when that white text came on screen. It's crazy how good this is. It is. It's absolutely insane. Let's see if we can catch another video here. Does this do? This does like magic fluids. Yeah, I don't think that does a very good job. Let's see. I think there's another. You want to try out one more just to show you guys. A lot of people are like, how does it look when text comes on screen? Like that, like normal. You're not getting blooming. Subtitles don't cause an issue. So that glow you're seeing is my window. Kind of coming through the window. It's absolutely, I would not even, personally, if you want high resolution gaming, I would not be messing around with the 240 hertz OLED. Right, from LG. I wouldn't. I would wait for them to release this, their version of this, or just buy this, or any other brand that has this, because it's insane. It's super, super, super nice. Yeah, I don't think I can have enough good things to say about this panel in terms of what it can do. It's, the colors are phenomenal. The fact that it has real deep, true blacks. With that local dimming, all those local dimming zones, it's just crazy how good this is. So anyways, guys, I'm going to end it there. I hope this was useful to you. I will make some more videos on this monitor and its like responsiveness. But so far, I'm absolutely blown away with this monitor, and I want them to do some, I would love for them to add in that 160 hertz mode with VRR. They need to provide a firmware update to give that, because pretty much every other monitor, again, that's my window there, to provide that. But if they don't, I can still get 150 hertz out of it, so it's not the biggest deal. I would like to see them release this in black versus silver, and you know, maybe some firmware updates to fix some of those, like add a local dimming hot button, right? Hotkey. I don't need the gravity switch or gravity sensor. That's just completely useless. How often, why do you even need that? You probably are going to be aware that your monitor fell off its desk. I think that's what it is. So anyways, guys, I'm going to catch you guys later. See ya.